could paint a bramble. The brush is so quickly doing this. Now it's kind of painting the thorns backwards, but you know, when you actually look at it, it doesn't matter. So I can just fill it. You can do this. I'll show you another example real quick, just maybe with stones or maybe even a little different thorn or something. So there you see that. Now, one thing that's really cool to do, let me select this and backspace, is there's a very cool tool in here that you can use with shapes. So what I'm going to do is select the pen tool, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to draw me a really nice curved surface here. And if I go with my pen horizontally, then when I come up here, I can pull it out horizontally, and that'll work. And I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So I'll select this point, and I want a little bit smoother curve, and I may have to move some of these around a little bit, but that's okay. Looks like I've got a little bit too long there. So you tweak it until you get a nice smooth curve. And I probably should have put another, whoops, I don't want to do that. I'll leave it like this. I probably should have put another point initially right in here. Those of you that are familiar with Illustrator and things, this won't be anything new to you. I just haven't used the shape tool or pen tool much in here. So what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to go back and select the brush I used. I'm just going to hit P because it's already loaded. But then I'm going to click this icon right here, which is Align to Path. And what that is going to do is constrain my brush stroke to this path I've drawn. So I'm going to start out with heavy pressure and end up with light. So I draw, and I'm going to, whoops. Well, let me start that again because it didn't. So I'm drawing around, and I don't know why it's doing that. But, and I get in smaller way too quick. But as I get smaller and I can't control my jump nearly as well as I'd hoped. But as you can see, you can draw your pattern along a path, and I can't draw anywhere else. You know, I'm pressing and trying to draw somewhere else. So if you want to draw big, smooth, curved paths and you're not real confident in your ability to do it freehand, this is a great feature to use, this Align to Path button. So there you go, Thorns. And it kind of worked like I wanted, but I showed you the feature. Probably what I've got happening here is the minimum size. I probably need to move up a little bit. And pressure's okay. It's just I'm not smooth enough to paint it too smoothly. Most of the time, if I'm just painting a bramble or something, I'll just kind of come in and really quickly wrap one around like that. You could use this for a dragon tail. You could use it for really almost anything you can imagine. The thing you got to remember is the pattern you create needs to be on a transparent layer. If it's not, you'll get something that'll happen like this. So let me back this off, get rid of it, and I'll get rid of that shape layer. Let me create a new image, and I'll go 600 by 600. I don't remember what it was for the original Thorns, and I don't know why it jumped all over the screen like that. So let me pause and come back. Okay, so everything's rearranged nicely back again like it should be. You can see the update of how the brush should look, drawn with a nice smooth stroke, which I apparently can't do tonight. So here is my original image, and as you can see in my layers, the thorns are drawn on top of the canvas on a transparent layer. If I go ahead and drop this down, then I've got one solid image, and I can still come under patterns here and capture pattern. But see, now something wholly different looks shows up and looks here, and I'll title it Thorns 2 and save it. And so let me come back to this layer. Now I'm using the same pattern pen masked, but as you can see, there's no transparency in it, so it doesn't work. Now there's another brush you can use. It's the pattern chalk, and it will paint, I hope, with my brush, which isn't doing much of what I want now, and so I'm embarrassed. And now I'm really embarrassed because it's not working. If I fill it with the pattern, it's still not working. Okay, let me figure out what I've done here. Thorns, my original thorns, that works. Thorns. Okay, it is working now, but why is not? Okay, so there's my original pattern. My brush, oh, there it goes. Now it's painting with the color and my pattern. And this one's actually working pretty good because it's on a white background. But as you can see, it's not painting over, it's simply, it's transparent. You can see the transparency behind it. Now if your pattern's solid color, that may not be too big an issue. But if you're not painting with a solid pattern, I mean a pattern that's a solid color, you can see in this case that does present a problem. Now let me check a couple of these others, because pattern chalk, okay, there it goes. So I don't know why it was doing what it was doing the first time. Probably I was doing something. So this almost works like the masked version, but not quite. You can see it's building up transparent over itself. If I switch to the masked version, and then also you can see now it's filling in the transparency, but I've got to switch to one of the masked pen, so pattern pen masked. Now as I paint it, it won't, uses the original colors, and it won't paint transparent over itself. So there's Thorns, for better or worse, confusing or less. Please make sure to ask any questions if you have some about this. That is a little more confusing than I wanted it to be. Cool feature. You can use it, like I said, to paint anything virtually that you want to paint along, jewelry. It's Monster Workshop, so we don't want pretty monsters, but you can use it for jewelry. You can use it for anything that you want to paint a long string of.